Okay, hold on. Can you see me now? I think we're here. Okay, hold on. All right, I think we're. Are we live? Are we live? Is it working? I think so. Jim, give us 1 second. Okay, we're on. Come on over here.
Can you see me?
Yeah.
All right, I think we're on. Yeah, we're live, folks. Sorry about that. Always have a little issues here. Thank you, April, our executive producer, for fixing that. Welcome, everybody. Ocean Spit, little show about big things. We got a great show lined up for you guys today. Monday through, we are back in the studio. Thank God for that. And let's thank all our sponsors. We got a great show. We got a whole great week. Guests on all week. If the format has not changed, Monday through Friday, 12 o'clock noon. Every show is dedicated to the doctors, the nurses, the teachers, the policemen, the firemen, all the first responders out there, especially dedicated to people like you. We got a great guest on today. Our good buddy Jim Cunningham is going to be our guest in a couple minutes, folks. He has been in the music business for many years. He's with the Rob Post Band, and now he's a new lead singer of Chicago's power pop band, of course, the legendary Off Broadway. We'll be talking about Jim's career and stuff like that. But before we do that, folks, happy Monday. It's September 26th. And let's thank our sponsors, because without our sponsors, folks, there would be no show. First of all, let's thank McCampbell Law Group. Roy McCampbell, attorney at law, a statewide law practice that is client-focused and results-driven. For a good lawyer, honestly, please call Roy at 708-275-4628. Let's not forget our good buddies from my wife's company, of course, Laura Ocean Solutions. Increase its profits while reducing credit card fees. Check out her page at lauraoceansolutions.com. Let's not forget Deutz Power Center, folks. Deutz Power Center, servicing the Great Lakes, servicing the construction diesel industry in Chicago for the last 100 years. Call Sal at 224-276-6550, everybody. Airtight Windows, siding specialist, family owned for 30 years for honesty and quality. Do it right with Airtight Windows. Give Lou a call at 708-768-5000. We're going to get all the commercials up front because we don't want to interrupt the interview with Jim Cunningham coming up very shortly, folks. Don't forget Don Esteban Cigars out of Tarpon Springs, Florida. Javier can hand roll the cigars and send them right to your home. Ask for the Tony Ocean cigars and get a special discount. 727-366-7536. Don't forget our good buddies from Portillo's. That's right. You know, our son Joe Fank works for the Portillo's company in the marketing department. If you're looking for a nonprofit organization's parties, Portillo's can do it for you. Contact Joe at 224-636-3646 or at jfank.portillos.com. Joe Fank is coming home, our son from Texas. He's been gone for almost 12 days, putting up a brand new Portillo's out there. So he'll be coming home sometime today also. Let's not forget, last but not least, the great Trico hair experts out of Rosemont, Illinois. That's Anthony and Carmela doing a great job recreating great hair days for men, women, and children. Give them a call at 773-999-7888. That's what pays for the show, folks. Monday through Friday, Ocean's Pit. Now, you can 3 ways of seeing the ocean. You're watching it on the Tony Ocean Facebook page. Then you can also see it on my personal page, the Mo Carrara page. But now you can also get down to our special link on Twitter, folks. So you can see us live on Twitter. You can see us live on YouTube. At the bottom of the screen tells you all the links. And now, ladies and gentlemen, you can see us live on LinkedIn. Connect with us on LinkedIn. Ocean's Pit, little show about big things. So we have a great stuff, folks. Check the website, TonyOceanMusic.com. And to book a show, give us a call at 847-769-8609. Now, I want to thank everybody that showed up. We had a busy week, folks. 5 nights a week still. It's amazing. We just celebrated our 30th anniversary. We sold out the Des Plaines Theater on the 27th of May, and we've been so humbled. At that time, we had 8,000 shows, and we are still going strong. Thank you, everybody that showed up at Chicago Prime on Friday, because you guys were on the show on Thursday. So Saturday was a great show at Taverna. Even in the rain, people were dancing. I want to thank Christina and Kathy. The girls from the hit TV show called Smothered was in the house. Happy birthday, Gina, the sister. It was a great party. Sunday was at Antonino's in beautiful LaGrange. It was a great concert as well. Thank you, Jerry Jams, Tony Toto, the band. Great job, guys. Now we got a busy week this week. This Wednesday we'll be at Rosario's in Roselle with Carlo Joseph. Thursday, Moretti's in Edison Park, outside concert, folks, with the band. It's going to be exciting with the main event band. Friday, Chicago Prime Steakhouse. Saturday, we have 2 shows. My new rock band, Mojo's Jukebox, is going to be at the Broken Oar from 2 to 6 in the afternoon. That's with guys from the Average Joe Band. Also, the guys from American English. Also, guys from Foco and Mistaken Identity, doing songs of the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Then that night at 8 o'clock, we'll be at Lucky Lulu's in McHenry and Prairie Grove on Saturday. We're out of town next week. We'll be in Wisconsin for 4 days working. We'll give you some more details on that. A lot of good stuff still coming up, folks. Don't forget, next Wednesday, October 5th, we'll be at Are We Live in Burr Ridge. I'm looking excited at that. I love going back by Gigi. Great place, folks. And, of course, don't forget, next Saturday, we'll be at the Speakeasy, St. Club Arcata Speakeasy. Ron Onesti does it again with the main event band, Tony Toto, Danny Raimondi, Jerry Jams, and John Troncalli, the main event band at the Speakeasy on the 10th. Columbus Day is right around the corner, folks. We will have our own float this year on WGN. It's going to be Columbus Day, Monday, the 10th of October. We're still looking for, we got just this close, a couple more sponsors. We'll be getting that, folks. So excited to be on that float every year for Columbus Day. We'll be on WGN, Channel 7, Channel 5, Channel 2. We'll be going down State Street. Ron Onesti puts that together, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And also, again, folks, we're going down to Nashville. We're going to be at the beautiful Grand Ole Opry on October 23rd for the Josie Awards, the #1 independent music award show in the country. And I'm nominated. Ocean's Pit is nominated for the Bextall Show. So I am so excited about that. Me at the Grand Ole Opry. You know, I love country music. You guys know that, but old country. The last 20 years is not country to me. It's pop. I don't listen. I don't understand it. And that's just me. But it's going to be cool. So I'm just honored and humbled to be nominated for the Josie Award. So we'll give you an update on that. All right, folks. So without any further ado, we got, like I said, our good guest, Jim Cunningham, will be on very shortly. So let's start the show if we can. That's what it's about. Let's go.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Ocean's Pit, the little show about big things. And now, your host, Mr. Tony Ocean.
Thank you, Nelson. I appreciate that, my good friend. I hope you're doing well. All right, guys, let's say hello to some people. Helen Tenuta, great seeing you on Sunday. Of course, let's thank our good buddies, of course. Natalie, our sister's watching. Natalie, how you doing? Rosemary, great seeing you in Seymour on Saturday. Emo, we have Santa Barbara, California. We got a good friend, Kathy. We got our friends from Minnesota, New Jersey, New York. Our good buddies from Wisconsin, Ohio. Pina, Erica, how you guys doing? Jerry, great job. Helen Tenuta. Oh, it's going to be great. Yeah, I'm nuts about old country. Yeah, me too, Emil. Great seeing you, buddy. Emil, I smoked your cigar yesterday. Thank you so much for that. All right, so a lot of good stuff. Again, thank you so much. Appreciate it, folks. Last week, when we get comfortable, I've never been heavier than like 230. Now it went then the last I weighed myself was 219. I thought I was still kind of heavy, because I have my arms are skinny, my legs are skinny, I have no ass, as my wife would say. And so started Jenny Craig, and I always like that one. I do it for 3 or 4 weeks, and I lose the pounds quick. So I'm already down 5 pounds the first week. So it's been pretty good. I love it. I would really recommend it, guys, if you're trying to lose that quick weight, because it really works out fine. So my wife was gone a couple days last week. She came back on Saturday. Remember, she's on our show this Thursday as my co-host. So we're excited about that. And then we leave for a little trip in Wisconsin. We'll talk about that on tomorrow's show as well. Nick Colossus will be our guest on Wednesday. Used to be in the band Paradox years ago. Now he's in the #1 Bon Jovi tribute band out of California called Slippery When Wet. And we're going to have him on Wednesday. So we're excited about that as well. Then my good buddy, of course, Carl Jeremisi from the Buckinghams will be on Friday's show, the lead singer of the Buckinghams. All right, so let's get down to some business here, folks. Jim Cunningham, Elk Grove Village, friendly neighbor, been in the business for many, many years. Rob Post Band is in Double Brood, The Stage. Now he's with Off Broadway. A lot of things we're going to talk to him about. So, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, let's bring on Jim Cunningham, waiting very patiently. Jimmy, are you there?
I'm here.
Look at you. Love that. Love that man cave. Very nice, sir.
Yeah.
How
It's
you
our
doing,
practice space.
It's a practice space. Jim, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great.
You know, I want to thank. It was great seeing you and your wife on Friday. Thank you for stopping by. I know we were trying to touch bases, and I love supporting entertainers and people doing it in the business. You've been doing it for a long time. I mean, before we get to all the music stuff, let's start. Jim Cunningham, where were you born?
I was born right here in Chicago, and moved into Elk Grove Village in my second year of life, and been here ever since.
Very cool. You have a big family, Jim?
I'm sorry?
You have a big family?
No, not so much. Not so much. I had two older brothers, both guitar players, great, talented guys. Played for a long time. My brother was in the country. He did a lot of the old school country. You would have loved his stuff. Actually, Rob Post Band does one of their songs, one of his songs, I should say, and very proud to do that. He's written some really classics. He was with the White Saddle Band back in the 80s. They're still together today. No original members, but the White Saddle Band's still around today. And so he started that band back in the 80s. And anyhow, so as far as other musicians and family, no, that's it.
Have you ever played in a band with all your... Were you in a band with your brothers at all?
I did. I played with my brother Bob for a long time. He was in Flight for a period. Then he went off and started the White Saddle Band and did that for many years until
you started Flight at 12. How old were you?
Actually about 16, 17 when I joined. They were called Odysseus. They had a female singer and they wanted to add a male singer, so they brought me in and changed it a little bit. Changed the name to Flight. Flight was a name that I chose from the Alvin Lee album In Flight. I thought it was a cool name, and used the letter Y in there, Flyte, similar to how Skinner used the Y's. So
Skinner.
We were big Skinner fans.
Actually, I hear that Leonard Skinner was named after one of their gym teachers, if that's correct.
That's correct.
Yeah, he was the only one that said they wouldn't amount to anything, or was he the one that actually supported them?
Nope. No, he said they wouldn't amount to anything. They'd never go anywhere.
How about that? Now look, Leonard Skinner. Jim, who gave you, do you remember who influenced you in starting to sing? Was it the Beatles, the Stones? What was it for you?
Yeah, it's funny. My dad listened to a lot of country. My mom listened to rock and roll. She was more the Elvis. I was listening more of that, the pop. I really wasn't into the country. I do love the classic country now. My dad just turned me on. A steel guitar just thrills me every time I hear that. But it was more the rock and roll. I wanted to move. I wanted to boogie. Absolutely remember watching the Beatles back in the day on the Ed Sullivan, just like everybody else. It was just something absolutely out of nowhere and influential. And I remember the Elvis concerts on Saturday night, from Hawaii and things like that. And those couldn't wait for those shows to come on and watch him.
Stones, of course, the Beatles with me, the Beatles and the Stones, of course. Then after the Beatles recorded, when they went to Sgt. Pepper, I was not a Beatle fan. I liked them before all that stuff, before the Mop Top stuff. And then I went over to the Stones, and I've been a giant, Stones fan forever. All right, Jim, you've been playing in a lot of bands. Rob Post Band's been around for many, many years. Is it weird? How did it come up with the name? Did he start the band? That's why it's Rob Post. You guys had no problem with it?
I was playing along with Flight at the time, and he would fill in for our drummer periodically. And then he asked me to fill in for a show that he was doing, and absolutely joined him. I met a guitar player in that band that I really liked, so I wanted to kind of continue that. So we use the name Rob Post. We were Post Toasties, first gig out, and then
that's cool. Yeah.
He told us that he was going to retire at 60 years old and he was going to move away. And we said, well, geez, that's 5 years from now. And what band lasts 5 years, right? So, so when he did allow us to use the name, he retired and moved away. And we've been 5 years now without him. and continue the name. It's a cool name, and we've not heard it yet. It's
been around.
name.
It's been around in the neighborhood. Everybody knows the band. If you never heard of Rob Post, what kind of music would you play if they come and see you guys?
We're absolutely Beatles, Stones. We're classic rock primarily, but you'll hear everything from Sinatra to Chili Peppers to Stone Temple Pilots, and I mean we do the gamut. We do the sweet, we're Cheap Trick, we're power pop, we're classic rock, we're country rock. It's everything.
A little bit of everything. Tell me about Double Brood. What is that?
Double Brood is the guitar player from Rob Post is Jason Dodd, and he and I been about 3 or 4 years that we've been doing acoustically playing out, and it's done very well, especially during the pandemic when most of the places didn't want that band out there. They wanted just some live music in the corner was what they were looking for. So we were right there right then, and I really enjoy that. It's it's a little bit different. We're sitting on stools, and we're not in anybody's face. We're just kind of providing that live music. If you want to request a song, we're there for you. Otherwise, it's just turn around, clap, and enjoy what we're doing.
You're right, Rob. I mean, Jimmy, a lot of people were out of work, and we were very fortunate, even with the Tony Ocean guy, like myself, me and the tracks, or me and the piano player, or me and the drummer, whatever it was. We were doing that, and some of the Italian restaurants didn't close. I think we were maybe out of work for 5 weeks, and then some of the Italian restaurants didn't close, and then they opened the tents in the parking lots. And then there was places like, that never had entertainment that started putting tents in, and just to try to get people into the clubs, so it's good that live music is back. Have you been seeing more people now coming out to clubs since everything?
Oh yeah, it's definitely people were ready to come back as soon as they were allowed to. You mentioned the stage, and I know that some people have gone, well, what band is that, or what's that all about? The stage is pretty cool because during the pandemic, I put in a stage at the T-Wood in Wooddale. They don't have live entertainment typically at all. So they were open to the idea that we would bring in a stage, we would provide the sound, the lights, and the entertainment. So we initially started as solo and duo acoustic acts, just very small stage. It's kind of grown. We've kind of allowed bands to come in, but it's basically set up that we provide the band and everything behind them. We promote it. It's not just a, walk in and get up and sing. We sign you up in advance. We schedule it. We promote it. And then, hopefully you bring out some people. We've had really people playing there for the first time they've ever played on a stage before. Very nervous, very awkward and inexperienced. And we have had, some great talent down there. John Ivan is a big fan of the stage, and for people like him, where he can come out and play some original music and kind of test it out on people, see what people think, get a crowd reaction, and it's been very good. So I'm always looking for people and acts that are willing and interested in doing this. They're cool for tips and drinks, but it provides a stage, a venue, and an audience.
Very cool. Well, it's nice that you're trying to give up people some chance to go in there and show some of their music, even if a new band's starting out and want to, play out for the first time or do something. That's pretty cool, Jim. Again, I want to thank my wife for helping me out this morning. In April, I don't know if she's still in flight. I know our executive producer was coming back from Pennsylvania, I think Pickle Fest somewhere, Pittsburgh, whatever they were. Dave Antonelli's back. That's good. Richard Hamlin, Denise, how you guys doing? Everybody. Denise Deanna says hello, Jim. Some of your neighbors are watching. Jim Cunningham, a fellow Elk Grover. Very cool. Jim, of course, you sing for the choir too. That's pretty cool. You sang for that. You sang for a church. You do that on Sundays?
Do that on Sundays when the voice is there. But yeah, been in the New Pastel choir since about 1990. And I do that on Sunday mornings. And really enjoy it. That's, very, helpful. It's been skillful, and for me, there's great training in there, and there's great people, of course, and
Fantastic. Yeah.
you know, to be able to sing the spiritual songs too is really quite.
Well, yeah, because we know we're blessed for what we do, not only with our
Absolutely.
families and our career and our vocals and our voice. So thank God we're still healthy. God bless. Jim, how long you been married?
Been married 32 years.
Well, let me ask you something. Now, you know, back in the day, you guys starting out, as you know, Laura's my wife now will be going 5 years in January. That she's wife number 4. It was tough when I was married because some of the, you know, the wives and people, they were attracted to when they met you, and then when they get into the everyday routine that you're working every night and stuff like that on the weekends, was it hard? Was your wife always behind you on that? Do you always have support even from your parents growing up?
She is. Oh, parents were always behind me on that, and always appreciate that. They supported me all along. You know, the wife, Dawn, is she's very supportive of it now. When we met, of course, I was not doing it. You know, the band kind of ended in like 1981, 82 was when Flight ended. And for 20 years, we did nothing. We reunited in 2000 just to, you know, play a party. And then we thought we'd keep it going. And it just got better and better. So, but she was not, you know, in it initially, but she's seen it grow and she knows how much it means to me. My wife is busier than I am, believe it or not. She's in more clubs and groups, and she has more fans than and
Well,
friends.
God bless. It's very important to have your wife support you, especially.
Yeah, so she's totally cool with it, and yeah, you gotta be good at home. So
absolutely,
keep it good at home. Otherwise, it doesn't work. So, you know, it's pretty much right home after the gigs and get to sleep as soon as you can, so you can get up in the morning and do your family routine.
Stuff. Yeah, absolutely. How about your kids? Your kids think
the
like
kids are. The kids are grown. They're older now. They're both gone on their own. My daughter's married. Son will soon be. And they've both. They've gone off on their own, which makes this very possible for me. You know, it's, you know, I'd gone from doing about 20 shows a year. This year I'll be over 70 shows.
That's fantastic. Are they kind of cool that Dad's a singer in a couple of cool bands?
Yeah, you know, we and Laura will remember this, is her kids at least too. We did a show at Nergi Elementary back when the kids were in school, and they had us come in. Flight did a show, and we did like the history of rock. So we started with, you know, the Chuck Berry and ended with a Kiss song, you know, and the Who and stuff. So, but we did the full gamut. But the kids were there in the audience, and my kids, you know, couldn't be prouder or happier of it. So, hey, Laura.
I thought it was so cool.
Did you see that? Were you there then?
I do remember that. Denise will probably remember that too. We
Very
were all
cool.
there.
Yeah.
How cool is that? You got your friend Jason, your fellow band member Jason Todd says hello, Jim.
Jason Todd.
He's watching.
Hey, Jason. Hey, Jace. Look, we could do a commercial too.
There you go.
This is Jason and I.
Look at that. You guys got wine, double brew.
We got our own wine, boy. This is really good stuff.
Well, there you go. We're going to have to come over to the house one day. We're going to have to do some drinking there.
We'll open it up. Yeah, not midday right now. No day drinking for me. So
no day drinking. We're Ocean's Pit, little show about big things, folks. Jim Cunningham from the Rob Post Band, and of course now with the legendary band off Broadway. Let's get into that real fast. Before we do that, Rob Post, any of your bands besides off Broadway, any original music, Jim? Did you guys ever try doing recording any of that?
Flight did some original music. I got my Flight CD here. It's called Some of Ours, Some of Theirs. We did this in 2005. We have 10, 12 songs on here, and 4 were original. I know you can't see it, but that's okay. But, you know, we did Saw Her Standing There by the Beatles, Pretzel Logic by Steely Dan, Under My Thumb, Stones. We did Springsteen's Ramrod, Cheap Trick's Downed.
Cool.
Cowboy Song, Thin Lizzy, and Jealous Again by Black Crowes. But we did 4 originals. So, but you know what? You play originals out, that's, you know, people disappear. They go to the washroom. They really don't care. At our age, we're not trying to make it. We're not trying to sell it.
Right.
You know, if it was about trying to make it in the business, then yeah, you need to put your originals out there, but at this age, people just want to hear what they know and what they've come to love and come to listen
Absolutely.
to.
You know, unfortunately, back in the day when we first started, it was a big event. People came to the club because the band was playing. Now it's mostly a social event where people go. I don't know how it is with you guys, but I've got a loyal following, which is great. They come out all the time, and you know, they spend money and they're out doing what they're doing, and which is a pretty cool feeling, you know. And we're pretty lucky with that. And I know Rob Poster now. I've been an off-Broadway fan forever. Of course, one of the greatest bands to come out of Chicago, I think. We had Mimi on the show. We had Mike Gorman on the show. Cliff was supposed to be on the show last year. But of course, we lost the great Cliff Johnson, of course, and great bands. They put out 2 great records on, and then of course, Quick Turns, and they had some great stuff that wasn't released. But I still listen to them actually, so I think they're fantastic. How was it when you got the call? How did you get the call? How did that all come about, being the new lead singer of Off Broadway?
Well, it came basically about 5-6 years ago. A friend of mine, Bill Kowalski, he's current drummer of Off Broadway. He was playing with the band called The Rain, and The Rain was backing up Cliff Johnson, doing all Off Broadway songs, Cliff Johnson. Yeah. And so we had the opportunity to open, Rob Post Band open for Cliff Johnson and The Rain about 5-6 years ago. And that was the one and only time that I met Cliff. True honor, because I was a true fan of his and the band's all along, ever since the album came out in '79. So huge fan. So anyhow, we did this show with them. Went great. And that was, you know, that was the extent of it. Of course, I'm still in touch with Bill all the time. And then a year ago, June, they had some shows coming up and Cliff fell sick, and they called me about 2 weeks before a Dirty Nellies show, which was 3 weeks before the 4th of July show in Rockford opening for Cheap Trick. Yeah. So I had, they said, are you available? Are you interested? Bill knew that I was a cover band singer and that I was an Off-Broadway fan. And, you know, I couldn't hang up the phone before saying yes.
Absolutely. How was it when you got to finally sit down with Rob Harding and John Ivan, of course?
Well, believe it or not, I met those guys the night we played.
Yeah, there you go.
We had no practice. They said, learn the first 2 albums front to back. And that's what I did. For 2 weeks, just constantly played and got the lyrics, and, you know, I knew most of it. Of course, I knew the melodies because I'd been listening and singing to them forever. And so I was very fortunate that I had a little background with the music. But yeah, so I met absolutely all 3 of them, Rob Harding, John Ivan, and John Pasden, the night we played Dirty Nellies 2 weeks after the call. And yeah, it was kind of surreal, you know, and then to walk on stage with those guys and never knowing what they were going to do or what, you know, anything about them. And the interesting thing too, for me, is that I've always been a front man and a, you know, lead singer, and I try to engage and entertain and do the best I can at, you know, bringing out some energy to the audience. Right. Well, you know, I wanted to do that for these shows as well. Of course, I felt like that was important, but turn around and realize that really the show is John Ivan and Rob Harding. Those guys just put on a phenomenal show, and I don't need to do that. So, I mean, I am myself. I don't try to emanate Cliff in any way. I mean, Cliff was classic in his humor and his style, his
one of a kind indeed, the great Cliff Johnson. We definitely lost. And great songwriter as well. You know, he did a great
his spontaneity on stage was second to none. He was just a character. So, but yeah, and every song that Off Broadway did, the first 2 albums, Cliff wrote or co-wrote, and you know, I mean, if you're a fan, you know what I'm talking about. That first album was just the best.
You
Pop.
know, I had Mike on the show and those guys, and you know, you're absolutely right. They should have been huge. I mean, those two. I thought the second album was just as good as the first. That's just because I'm an off-Broadway fan like you are, so they can, you know, whatever they do. And I thought they were always fantastic. I mean, with Stay in Time, of course, got some major radio airplay when they came out. Full Moon, of course, Bully Bully. I mean, so many great songs on there. How was it? Okay, granted, you with Cheap Trick, that was cool overall. But when you actually got into the club, doing a club show with them, how was the fans' reaction? Of course, especially after Cliff died.
Yeah, you know, it's mixed. We have not done a show since Cliff has passed, so we do have 2 on the schedule coming up. However, yeah, so all the other shows were prior to Cliff's passing, and people wondered where he was, and rightly asked the question, you know, where's Cliff? And you know, we wanted to respect his privacy, of course, in illness, and so we didn't really answer that. Like, I didn't feel like it was for me, certainly, to say anything as far as his health or his situation or anything. So I kind of looked at everybody else to do that for me, and nobody was really saying anything except, you know, his good friends were saying that he's doing well and he was doing okay, and you know, some thought he might be back and had hoped he would be back, and we all wish he'd be back.
Well, I'm sure Cliff is up there. I'm sure Cliff is up there giving you the blessing, my brother, and keeping the torch going. Because you know what? Music is music, just like you said. The songs do sell. I mean, they're just great when you do the show, and you guys are just like you get a good meal, and you guys are all that, you know, the ingredients that you put in that makes those songs so fantastic. We're Ocean's Pit with Jim Cunningham, the new lead singer, of course, of Off Broadway, and of course with the Rob Post Band. So the fans were kind of cool. Do you have a favorite? I mean, you do everything from the first 2 albums. Do you do any covers or any other stuff that's not on the albums?
Everything from the first 2 albums. The only thing that they wrote a song called Holiday, which was co-written by Rick Nielsen of Cheap Trick, and he co-produced it. It didn't make a 3rd album. You know, they were dropped from Atlantic, surprisingly, but so that didn't come out. But we do this song Holiday, and then John Ivan and I have been doing an acoustic intermission type of thing where we do John Lennon and actually we do an Off-Broadway quick turns acoustically. So the only song that we do cover is the John Lennon Jealous Guy.
Of course, everybody does that. Even Donnie V, another great singer in the Chicagoland area, Enough's Enough. They covered Jealous Guy too, of course.
Great song.
Did a great job with that. Great songs that they are. Do you have a favorite of any of the Off-Broadway songs? What's one of your favorites?
You know, that's tough, but I go right down the list, and there isn't one where I would like to skip over it. In fact, Rob Post Band and we've been doing Stay in Time since I've been doing it, and it gets such a great reaction even from the Rob Post fans or people. I'll look around and I'll see who's singing along, and a lot of people are. Yeah, a lot of people know that song,
especially that iconic beginning. That
with
Kenny Hart. I mean, just Kenny, an incredible drummer as well with the original band. That's kind of cool, man. You guys do Boys Must Be Strong too?
We do.
That's an incredible song.
Strong. Yeah. Money's No Good is probably one of my favorites. That's very Beatle-esque. I know a lot of them are, but that one just is got a really good vibe to it. I love singing it, and you know, I do a lot of different styles, like say doing cover songs for all my life, and you know, doing stuff that's way out of my range or you know, below my range. You know, good from Johnny Cash up to you know, Zeppelin, of course. But when I do Off-Broadway, it's right there, and it's just in a great spot for me. So I feel very, very comfortable.
And you love doing it, and it shows. I watched a couple of your stuff. You did a show at Fitzgerald's, didn't you?
We did.
Yeah, very cool. I've seen that some video footage you guys posted. That's good stuff, man. And like I said, that music is great, and you get to go from playing with an iconic band from the Chicagoland area. There's been some great singers and stuff like that, Jim, in the band. Do you see it's so difficult right now with music? What do you tell somebody right now if they want to get into this business?
Well, again, you there's two different parts of it. There is the original and there's cover music. I mean, and it's funny. And Jason's on right now. If he's still on, he tells his students. Jason's a guitar teacher, instructor, and he tells his students if you want to make a little money and if you want to have a little money in music, start with a lot of money.
Yeah,
because
you're amazing. Some of these
you're going to probably spend more than you make, but. It's it's a rare person. It's a rare group that makes it. You got to do it because you love it. I very fortunate that I took the time to, even as in high school with flight and stuff. And I remember the guys going, Jim, come on, why are you leaving? I was going to college and I just said, I don't see myself going anywhere with this. I just think I need to, pursue a different area like called life. And so, got married and kids and now it's a really great time for me to do this. But what I would say, if you're serious about it, you got to do it for the love of it. You don't think it's money and success and fame and fortune. That's wrong.
That's all gone. And there's so many cover bands that play in the country right now that are making probably some more money than some of the original acts. I mean, there's some bands out there that's just amazing. Now everybody loves the covers. And it seems like these days too, there's so many bands out there with no original singer or no original but they're still out there. I mean, look at Journey. Yep. When they got, when Steve left, they got the other singers. So people want to be the music, no matter what with everything going on in this crazy world, whether it's political or religion or anything, whatever it is, when it comes down to one thing, we all have one thing in common, and that's music. And thank God that we have that, Jim, it's really important. I'm going to throw a couple singers out you. I know you got to go. You're a busy man. I'm going to throw a couple singers out you, and you give me your opinion real fast. Let's talk about Robert Plant. Favorite, like him?
I love him. I saw Robert Plant with Zeppelin, with John Bonham in 77 at the stadium. It was only my second concert that I'd ever seen. And I was totally influenced. And I didn't even realize the influence that he had on me until, we used to do The Song Remains the Same and a couple other Zeppelin songs. We still do Zeppelin songs. But I find myself in the same stance as him. So that's what, I knew I was a cover singer when I find myself just absolutely copying and covering everything they do. And why not? They're the pros, right?
They're the pros. Let's go to Roger Daltrey with The Who.
Roger Daltrey's cool. Roger Daltrey is a man. We end every show with Won't Get Fooled Again. And you can hear my voice. I don't know if people recognize my voice or not, but I'm hoarse right now. And I blame Roger Daltrey because we end our show with Won't Get Fooled Again. And I do those signature screams at the end. And I love to do that, but I shouldn't.
Yeah,
and the last two shows,
the people love it. The people love it.
I know. Last two shows, Jason had to do the screams because I didn't even have it, and I'm saving myself. I'm trying to get away from that. But anyhow, Roger could scream and he could put it out.
How about Steve Perry, Journey, formerly
Steve Perry? I saw him on his first tour with Journey. I was a Journey fan before Steve came along. First two albums were remarkable albums.
Greg Rowley was
Greg Rowley from Santana and Steve Neil Schon. Those guys, great musicians, and they had two great albums. But I surprisingly saw them at Soldiers Field when they came out with Skinner and Nugent and the 38 Special and REO show. Journey came out with Steve Perry. And I remember him all in red. And I'm like, who is this guy? Can he sing? And the songs were phenomenal. I mean, it was, the album had just come out. So I may have heard some of it, or I may not. But yeah, my first impression of him, and what a voice. What a
incredible voice. Let's go to Boston's very own Steve Tyler.
Oh, Boston. I was thinking the band Boston.
Yes.
From Boston, Steve Tyler. Love Steve Tyler. What a
I mean, he's a good imitator. He's like a Mick Jagger wannabe, but he's got his own little voice.
He's
of
got
course.
great style. He's very cool, and he, I thought he was losing his voice back when he first came out, and then he was gone for a long time. And I thought he just did his voice in, and he comes back and better than ever. He's he can sing it. He can scream it out too.
Everything that guy's been through too. It's amazing that his voice is still there. The iconic Mick Jagger, of course. I mean, come on.
Well, I gotta say, I mean, a lot of people say I look like Jagger with white hair. They've since I was young. I mean, when I was young, people would say I looked like, Rick Springfield and Bon Jovi. None of those they won't say that anymore, but they still say Mick Jagger because I've aged with the guy. So, but my hair's gotten lighter, and it's not because I look like him, but the energy that he has and the charisma that he has on stage and the engagement with his audiences is just is remarkable. Not to mention the greatest bloody rock and roll band of all time, for sure.
I mean, Keith Richards is still alive. I mean, you know what? I mean, it's Keith is the guy. I mean, if you take Keith out of that band, I don't know. There wouldn't be no Stones, in my opinion. That's my opinion. Two underrated singers. Two of my favorite. Lou Gramm from Foreigner. I thought one of the great voice and vocals in rock and roll, along with Robin Zander, to, of course, some Cheap Trick. I mean, but they don't get the recognition they do. And Lou's not with the band anymore, but he's still solo. He had a brain surgery and all that done. But just two great voices that unbelievable. And playing with Front of Trick must have been cool. We played with the Dream Police. I've been with the Moe's Dream Police since 1989. Played Rockford. Rick came up. Bunny came up. Tom Peterson came up. We even did some of their Christmas parties for Cheap Trick, which was pretty cool. How was that feeling opening up for Trick? I mean, that must have been cool.
It was very exciting. I saw Off-Broadway open for Cheap Trick at the Granada Theater 81 or 2, something like that, and I had second row seats for that. So it was pretty amazing to think that it was sort of doing it again, and I'm in the position to be there. Unfortunately, it was during COVID, so there was really strict backstage requirements for Cheap Trick. No
meet and greets. I know a lot of stuff.
None of us were allowed back there. Saw Robin Zander from a distance, did a nice wave, and he waved with a smile, and it's very cool. Robin Zander can still sing too. I watched him like on Daryl's House, and
what a great job that was.
Oh, he's phenomenal. He's still as good as ever.
Yeah, do you do any pre-warm up? Have you ever smoked in your life, cigar?
Back in high school, I did foolishly. Yeah.
How about do you do any warm up? I mean, a lot of singers do. I just have my shot of Jack and that's it. And how about you?
Yeah, I'm just the opposite. I try to stay away from the alcohol before a show because it dries me out. But basically, I want to be in the car by myself on the way to a show because I scream like a madman. And I won't say it's all screaming. I do start with the breath support and all that kind of stuff, and I get into the low and middle and upper range and the head registers. But some of it's part of getting all that phlegm out and all that opening up the so I do warm up, and that's my choir training. Has helped in that in a lot.
It helped a lot. I sang choir for in high school, and that really helped, singing from the diaphragm. And that's I've been very fortunate to not lose too many shows because of my voice, singing as much as I do. So thank God. Again, we're blessed for what we do. Jim, give me the next Rob Post show. When is the band? When you guys be forming again?
Oh, this Friday, Rob Post Band is at Real Time Sports. We do this once a year. We play most places like once a year. And of course, this is an Elk Grove show. And Marty Barlow and I are from Elk Grove. So we half the band is hometown, and it brings a lot of Elk Grove crowd out there, and it's very nice.
Which is a great little town. Elk Grove does support a lot. Bye-bye. And when is the next? Give us the two Broadway shows coming up.
Well, the next off-Broadway show is November 5th, Saturday, November 5th at the Venue in Aurora. It's
Nice
a
place.
8 to 10 o'clock show, do 2 hours of straight music. And yeah, that's in Aurora. I said Aurora. And December 1st, we are tentatively scheduled for Des Plaines Theater. Ron Onesti has us on a Thursday night, December 1st. And we're going to do a tribute to Cliff Johnson, either a salute or a tribute. We're trying to get a tribute show together.
Yeah.
But that date hasn't been set up to have an absolute tribute. We would like to get some guests like yourself.
Well, you know what, Jim, we need to do is Dream Police open for you guys, and we do a double bill. I think that would be incredible. That'd be a lot of fun. Absolutely.
I'm in for that. And
Yeah,
you know,
Jim,
off the air too, I would like to talk to you about your show out in Arizona. You guys do it's a Chicago Fest West, I hear.
Yes, we do it. We did it 2 years. We're back again there in February again. Big Mike Mega Productions. I do a lot of shows with Big Mike. We got one coming up in Champaign for the police organization. We did one for Steve Mongo McMichael up at Bourbon Street. All the money went for, of course, Mongo, and so that was cool. We do a lot of stuff for Big Mike. Yes. We'll have to get you out there.
Yeah, we like to get out to that area. You know, we were out there in Arizona last year, and I said I wanted to follow that Chicago Fest West and see if we can get on that bill as well too. So,
absolutely. They're thinking about next year bringing in the Dream Police. So I go, why don't we do Dream Police and Off Broadway? Would be really, really cool because there's a lot of Chicago people in Arizona, especially in the Chandler Mesa area. Very, very many. If they want to book the Rob Post Band or Off Broadway, how do they get a hold of that?
It's all through me. They can contact me. Best way is my Facebook. I'm Facebook, or you can email me. My email is jcflight. That's JC, like Jay Cunningham, FLYTE @AOL.com. If you want to give you my phone number.
Sure.
You want to put that? I don't know if you can put that on there, but phone number 847-951-6492. You can call me, email me, text me. We're happy to be invited and considered for any shows. It's always an honor, and we do a lot of special shows. And
great. You know what, Jim? I want to thank you. Great meeting you and your wife on Friday. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for your time. Thank you for what you do. Keep up that music, man. Keep that, especially the power pop. I know. I mean, like with my band Mojo's, we do Babies and Sweet and Basie Road and just good stuff.
Good stuff.
And stuff that we always listen to. Thank my good buddy Jim Cunningham in the house. Thank you for your time, my friend. And we'll definitely. What time do you start on Friday over there in Elk Grove?
Friday we're starting at 7:30. We've got opening Elk Grove guy Chris Kaufman will start at 6:30, and Rob Post will be right at 7:30.
Okay, maybe I'll stop in before my show don't start till 8. So I'm going to stop by. We'll have a cocktail. You got it, Jim. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Jim Cunningham from the Rob Post Band. Don't forget also Double Brood on the stage off Broadway. Rob Post, Jim Cunningham. Check them out, folks. Very, very cool. Thank you, Jim. Have a great day, buddy.
Thanks, Mo. Tony, appreciate it.
You got it.
Thanks.
Jim Cunningham, folks. Ocean's Pit. Unfortunately, folks, we don't have much time to talk about anything else, but you might as well stay on for the next couple of minutes. A couple of things we needed to talk about today is also International Peace Day, as Ringo would say, peace and love. So make sure whatever you guys are doing, I try to do good stuff out there. How about some birthdays? Celebrity birthdays, folks. Let's start off with Montrose Bam, of course, one of the original members of Paul Revere and the Raiders, one of the great bands. Used to love Paul Revere. Very good. Ileana Onesti, of course. Ron Onesti's wife celebrates her birthday. Good. Ron Onesti, our good friend. Happy birthday. Gina Crispino, great birthday. Seeing you on Saturday, hon. Another great Chicagoland singer. The great Stella Ramundi celebrates a birthday today. Kathy Takano celebrates Fred's wife, Kathy. Happy birthday. Michael Bush, great photographers. He's photographed everybody from the Stones to Springsteen to everybody. Good friend Michael Bush celebrates a birthday. Michael St. Angel, one of the great Elvis impersonators out there in the Chicagoland area, celebrates a birthday today. Very good. Christine Palmonti. Christine, happy birthday, my dear friend. Brian Ferry, of the rock band Roxy Music celebrates a birthday. Let's see. Shannon Hood, of course, from the band Blind Lemon celebrates a birthday. Danny Koser, folks, from, of course, Pawn Stars, and my good buddy, great musician, Mr. Mikey D, of course, the professor, birthday today as well, folks. This is Ocean's Pit. A lot of good stuff still coming up, folks. This week, Rosario's with Carlo Joseph this Wednesday. Moretti's with the Main Event Band on Thursday, Edison Park outside. Some of these outside concerts are coming to the end. I think that's my last outside show we got this Thursday. Friday, Chicago Prime. Saturday, The Broken Oar with Mojo's Jukebox 2 to 6. And then 8 o'clock will be at Lucky Lulu's in Prairie Grove, McHenry area. So go out there and do a lot of stuff. We just want to let people know that, you got to go out. So Danny Mazzi, my good friend, peace, my good buddy. I hope you're doing well. Columbus Day Parade, it's going to be good. We're going to be on the Tony Ocean float this year. We used to do the Gulo float, and we still very much love the Gulo family. They probably own half of Elbro for all the real estate and everything that they do. But it's going to be very cool. We're excited about that. Oh, and let's say happy anniversary to Danny and Robin today. Happy anniversary. And there is Double Brewed, the new wine. Look at that. You got to get it. Got to get a bottle of that. When you book the band, you get a bottle of wine. Jim Cunningham. All right, folks, as we are coming to the end, a couple other things, folks. Don't walk a mile in my shoe, folks. That's nothing. 30 seconds inside my head. Now that will freak you out, folks. Absolutely freak you out. Danny and Robin, man, happy anniversary, you guys. Got just fantastic. Donnie Morrison and anybody out in Florida right now, they're having a big hurricane watch out there. Donnie's supposed to come home. Donnie, I hope you're okay there. You're still there for a couple days, so hopefully you're safe out there doing your stuff. Stock market down near 300 points so far today. Let's go. Yeah. Well, Dennis, you know that. We got to make America great again, and we've been talking about that. Good afternoon, Carol. How you doing? Daryl Armenstad, the Professor. Herbie, of course, Stay in Time. Yeah, a great song, Herbie, of course, off Broadway, one of his big hits they had. You should be on the radio all the time. The great stuff as it is. Albert from the Ron Onesti organization. Great seeing you, Albert. Great Kathy. Dave Antonelli. Cocktail, buddy. I don't know if you're in town. Anyway, we got to go. We got shorts. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll talk about all the interesting stuff that we didn't talk. 2 Rat Pack shows coming up. Big ones, folks. October 1st will be at the Wyndham Hotel in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Ocean's Rat Pack. That's going to be Bill Saratella as Frank. Yours truly as Dean. Elliot Winbush as Sammy Davis. That's going to be at the Wyndham Hotel in Kenosha. $10 at the door. $10 in advance. $12 at the door. Go to what'shappening.com for tickets. Also, dial 708-972-0700 for the Rat Pack, Ocean's Rat Pack. Then we'll be at the brand new Lyric Theater in Blue Island, a brand new music theater, about a whole 400 seats. The new Lyric Theater, 12952 Western Avenue in Blue Island. You can call 773-594-0398 or go to www.lyrictheater.com. Doors open at 4:30, dinner at 5, shows from 6 to 7:30. That's Ocean's Rat Pack. 2 shows coming up in October, which is coming right around the corner, folks. I hope you guys are all I hope you have a great day, and just go out and make sure that I want to say hello to Mama D, still not home yet. Happy Daughter's Day was yesterday, folks. I got to take my girls out for breakfast. I like to take the girls out once a month and the boys if I can. We took the boys out last month, so it was great taking the girls out. We also had Angelica with us, which is Tony's girlfriend. So my love to Gianna, Nina, and Marissa. Anyway, guys, welcome home. Joey will be home later on this afternoon. Our son from Texas. I want to thank you guys all for watching Ocean's Pit today. We'll be back in tomorrow with some more stories and more shit to talk about, because that's what it's about. That's important, folks. Remember the great words. Remember, support local establishments and live entertainment. And remember, buy local and shop local. And the great words of Ringo Starr, peace and love, folks. Peace and love. Remember, that's what it's about, peace and love. You guys have a great day, folks. Nick Sahajas, the piano man, take us out.
Time to go, it's the end of the show. See you later from Tony.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, April, for helping us out. See you guys later.